You're listening to The Loop, a podcast by Mosaic Church. The goal? To know Jesus a little better so we can live like him a little more. And now, here's today's host, Wes Feldner.
Welcome back to a brand new episode of The Loop. My name is Wes, and we've got a great episode in store for you today. We're actually in a brand new series called Lame Excuses. It's part of our study of the book of Romans. And as we thought about this topic, we thought it would be great. It would be lots of fun to invite some friends into the studio. And we wanted those friends to be friends that probably have heard a lot of lame excuses in their life. And so, that's right, we brought a bunch of teachers into the studio today. So joining me today are three teachers for some of our local schools. Everybody say hello.
Hello.
Perfect. Let's do this real quick. Let's get some quick introductions. So take a second, tell us who you are, where you teach, and how long you have been teaching. We'll start with you.
My name is Dawn Rentrop. I teach 5th grade science at Ocean Springs Upper Elementary, and this fall will be my 11th year.
Awesome. Thank you, Dawn. Go ahead.
I'm Lindsay Daly. I am at Ocean Springs Middle School, and this fall will be my 17th year.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'm Destiny Skinner. I teach at Magnolia Park, 2nd grade math and science, and this coming fall will be my 12th year in education.
Perfect. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining us. I'm sure that all of you have heard all sorts of excuses in your tenure as a teacher. Excuses about being late or not having homework assignments completed or turned in on time. So I've written a couple of questions here to guide our conversation. You guys can just chime in if you have a response. This could be the first question here. This could be about anything, but I wanted to know, what is the worst or the lamest excuse that you heard from a student this past year? So this would be like the most recent. What is the most recent lame excuse that you heard from a student? Who has one?
Let's see. So I don't give much homework, but when I do, I make sure that everybody knows about it.
Absolutely.
The excuse was, well, I didn't know how to do it. So
That's a pretty common.
that's
Common one.
That one was pretty good, and it was on.
So that may be one that you hear a lot.
Oh yeah, it was a topic that we had been on for the last 3 weeks, so they should have known how to do it.
Should have known.
Yeah.
I don't give a lot of homework either, but when I do, it's very consistent. It's give it out on Monday, due on Friday. And I've often had students come in and say, oh, I didn't know that was due today.
Or I
Did they
forgot
write
what
it in
day
their
it was.
agenda?
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't realize today was Friday.
Yes.
What about you, Lindsay? Anything?
So, and just to piggyback off of what Dawn said, sometimes I will write at the top, do such and such, and kids will still give that excuse.
Yes.
And you're like, no, it says it right there. Probably the most common excuse I get at the middle school, though, is my mom threw it away.
Yes.
Which I have found sometimes is actually true.
Yes.
However, the majority of the time they know they can get away with saying that. So, placing blame on mom or a sibling or somebody typically is probably the most common excuse this past year.
Oh yeah.
That's great. That's actually, go ahead.
My mom didn't know how to do it.
Yes.
What?
Yes. I've got, my mom didn't have time to do it.
Oh, gee. That's actually a great segue into this next question. So I think that we'd probably all agree that prioritizing school and homework and all that stuff is the student's responsibility. But that doesn't always stop the student from making excuses and actually shifting the blame on other people. So the next question I had is what are some of the worst or the lamest excuses that you've heard that involve people other than the students, maybe their mom, their dad, their grandparents, their siblings, neighbors, friends, whatever? What do you guys have? What are some of the lamest excuses that you've heard that involve other people and not the students taking responsibility? What do you think?
My bus driver lost it.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Blame the bus
lost it.
driver.
He left his folder on the bus, but his bus driver
Okay.
lost his homework.
I have had several. I left it on the bus.
Right.
To which I ask, why did you have it out on the bus?
Right.
They were doing it.
Who does homework on the bus, right? I've never done homework on the bus.
Some of these kids, I guess.
Oh yeah.
I've had different things about, we had to go to my brother's friend's birthday party on a Tuesday.
There you go. Birthdays on Tuesday. Happens all the time, every week.
My mom had to go grocery shopping.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yep. That's a pretty lame
my
excuse.
mom had to go to Walmart. My mom had to go
It took
to
all
Target.
night to grocery shop.
All night.
All night.
All night. Definitely.
Sometimes when I get those, I had soccer practice.
Mm-hmm.
I say, so you got off the bus at 2:30 and went straight to soccer, and then came home and went straight to bed.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you'll even ask them, how long did it take you to get to practice?
Right.
Like 30 minutes. Well, what did you do in the 30 minutes
Yes.
there or the 30 minutes back?
Right.
Not homework. Or sometimes they'll blame it on a sibling's practice.
Yes.
Like it's not even your practice.
Right.
So
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
don't qualify.
These are so good. Students, I hope you're taking notes. Some of the worst excuses I've heard are when kids are late or missing school. Probably the same for you guys as well. And sometimes these kids will actually diagnose their own medical condition. So that's what this next question is about. What is the worst or the lamest medical excuse you've heard from a student to explain maybe why they were late or why they missed school? What do you think?
So this one actually turned out to be true.
Okay.
And I don't know if I would say it was the worst. I would say it was the best.
Maybe it's the best. Sure.
The best. Little girl got attacked by a rooster.
What?
So she had to go to the ER to see if she needed stitches.
Okay.
But mom brought her right in afterwards
Yeah.
with a doctor's excuse.
What did the doctor's excuse say? Attacked by
rooster.
No way.
Yep, attacked
right.
by rooster.
That may be the best. That may be the
It was
best.
great.
What else do you guys have?
Kids, you triggered a memory. Kids will diagnose themselves. And I've had kids come in late and say things like, I have pneumonia. I'm like, really? You do?
You look fine.
Yep, I looked
Yeah.
it up. I'm pretty sure I have pneumonia. Okay. Have you been to a doctor? Nope.
No. Self-diagnosed. That's awesome. Don, anything to
I
add?
don't think I have any medical ones.
Okay. That's all right. All right. So let's talk real quick about homework. I know you guys have probably heard it all. We've probably heard or maybe even used, if I'm honest, the dog ate my homework. You guys have heard that one before, but I really don't think that that's something that applies these days, especially with with Google Classroom and all that. At least my kids are submitting all of their homework
Right.
online, so you can't even use that one anymore. Like the dog ate, it would have to be like the internet ate my homework or something like that. But here's the next question. What is the worst or the lamest excuse that you've got from a student to explain why they didn't have their homework completed? What do you think? What do you have?
Probably my mom didn't know.
Yeah.
Although it's in newsletters and agendas, and I send emails out. Yeah.
So I had one, it actually turned out true, but I had a student come back from vacation. So she comes back, after a week, and she's like, I don't have my homework. I'm like, why not? Well, I didn't have my computer to do it. Why not? My backpack was stolen. And then, the story just keeps going. Where
Yeah.
was it stolen from? From our car while we were on vacation. So I'm like, there's no way. And that one actually did turn out to be true.
Wow. So they were actually being diligent, took
Yes.
their homework with them on vacation. Somebody stole their car, like the entire car, or
No,
just the backpack?
The car was broken into. The
Yeah.
only thing taken was the backpack.
Wow.
I know.
And it was legit.
It
Wow.
was legit.
Wow.
I talked to mom.
There you go.
I've had several kids say it's no longer there, talking about like a Google Doc or
Yeah.
a Google Drive, and Google doesn't lie.
Yeah.
So when you pull up their Google
You
Drive,
can go
and
back.
show them
Yeah.
where it is.
Ah, there you go. Or you can follow the little breadcrumb that shows, oh, they did delete that out of their
Yes.
phone. It's like, oh, I can see you actually deleted it. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's
The
good.
kids will commonly say, I did it. Oh, no, I did it. I know I did it.
Yeah.
So then I will pull up Google Classroom or whatever and say, okay, let me show you what I have.
Right.
And then I'll pull up the document and say, looks like you did 2 of the, 20 questions.
Yeah.
And did
And
you
then
know
they're-
I could look at the edit history?
Yes. And then they're like, oh, I swear I did do it. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
This is your copy. It says your name. And
Google doesn't lie. Google doesn't lie. Oh, that's good. That's good. So good. All right. Here is the next question for us. And we've talked about a couple of these. We'll see if we got a little bit, a couple more. But sometimes students just tell the truth, but it's just wild and out there like a lame excuse. So, what is the worst or the best or the lamest, whatever we want to use, excuse that you've received from a student that was actually true? I know we've talked about a couple. Do you have any others to add? Something that was actually true. Go ahead, Destiny.
So this one was for why they missed school.
Gotcha.
Their nose was running. And
all right.
So, I emailed just to double check, and she was like, yeah, her nose was running really bad. So we just kept her
home. All right.
Okay.
Because the nose is running, not bleeding, just running.
Yeah.
All right.
It was raining, and my mom just got her hair done. That one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that one was.
Do you know I have kids miss school often to get hair done?
I was going to say that also.
Wow.
A couple of years ago.
That's a thing.
Often. It is a thing. It's
wow.
a thing.
It's like hard to get in to get in for these appointments, and so you take them when you can get them, even if it's during school.
Oh
yep.
yeah.
Where's so and so? Oh, she's getting her hair done today.
Yes.
Like, okay. Wow. She's getting her nails done.
That is not something that boys can. We just can't use that excuse at all. Like, oh yeah, I'm not coming into work today. I got to get my hair done. Yeah. Like I just can't use that. But maybe y'all can. Okay, that's good. All right. So this is the last question. Of all time. I know we started things off with in the last year, so like the most recent lame excuse that we got, but this is like of all times, in all of your years of teaching, what is your favorite excuse that you've heard? That could be just something completely wild, the favorite excuse, the favorite lame excuse that a student has used. And so I'd love to hear from each of you. If you've got one that's just like wild and out there and you're like, this is just one that I couldn't even fathom.
I have a student who homework was due or a project was due, and I asked where it was, and he said, oh, my grandmother died. And so I said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Did she die last night? And he kind of paused for a second and said, well, no, we went to Olive Garden last night. And so I don't really know when or if grandma ever passed
last
away,
year, maybe.
But that was why his project wasn't.
He was holding on to that one. He was waiting until he could actually like redeem that. Yeah. So it was like grandma passed away like a year ago, but I was waiting to use that excuse. Yes. Yeah, that's pretty lame. Poor grandma. No respect. God rest her soul. What do you think? What do you guys have to add? Your favorite excuse of all time?
I've had kids try to bring me homework that try to legitimately bring it. And you talk about dog like eating it. Sometimes the dog will like pee on homework or something, and they will still try to bring it in.
Oh, well, there you go.
And they're like, you may not. I'm like, nope. You get credit.
You're getting a pass. You're getting a pass.
I did have a kid talking about eating the homework, the dogs, that had a bearded dragon that legitimately like ate his homework. And I was like, there's no way. And his mom was like, yeah, it really did.
That's hilarious. Yeah. A bearded dragon is like that.
I know.
Like, okay. All right. Yeah. All right. It was a half page of homework. Yeah. Who knows?
I had a student who said their dog ate the homework, and mom sent me a picture of the student with oven mitts on, trying to get the homework from the dog.
It was a staged
and the dog. it very much could have been staged, but it was accepted. So if you're going to go to that much work, I guess you can.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
I'll piggyback off of you. And until you said yours, I had completely forgotten about it.
It's going to be good.
This child had, we had some issues with the child at school. And so we were going to call parents. And the excuse was, well, you can't, my dad died. And so, she was hysterical. And so we were, that's very sad. And, we just calmed her down a little bit and kind of like, we're like, we're just going to let it pass. Like, maybe she's dealing with some stuff. And so we had a meeting the next week. Dad resurrected. He came
no way, he's back from the dead.
He was at the meeting. He was at the meeting.
Oh, wow.
He was there. And so, that was
She didn't think you were going to call her bluff?
I guess not. And so when they had come, it was mom and dad. And, at first, like, we wanted to kind of tippy-toe around, the topic. And she was like, oh, this is so-and-so's dad. And I was like, oh, really? Well then, welcome back. YOLO.
Holy cow. Apparently not. Not YOLO. Everybody can be Jesus and come back from the dead. Oh, my goodness. Well, this has been a lot of fun. Thanks so much, guys, for taking a little bit of time out of your day to come in and share some of these lame excuses. And thanks to everybody tuning in. Here's what I do know. That the folks on the other side of the screen, the folks listening, y'all have no excuse to not join us for this new series, Lame Excuses. So get to one of our locations this week. Join us for a weekend services. As always, we've got services here in Ocean Springs, Thursday at 7 p.m. and Sunday at 9 and 10:30. And again on Sunday at 10:30 at our Harrison County location. My name is Wes. Thanks again for joining us for this episode of The Loop. We hope you have a great week, and we will see you soon right here at Mosaic Church. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
You've been listening to The Loop, a podcast by Mosaic Church. For more information, visit us online at mosaicgc.com.